Good afternoon, Kellen.
Hey.
With the constant state of flux in the offensive line here, and again this week, and you're going to have so many young guys in that line, how does that impact how you draw up the game plan and what you put together going into this game?
Yeah, I think obviously it's been unique with we've had a lot of moving parts up front, and you obviously got to be aware of that and conscious of it. Make sure that the game plan is tight and sound, and so the guys can go out there and play fast. Just because I think obviously when you got a veteran group that's been doing it for a long time, the volume could probably be a little bit higher than it normally is. But we just got to be conscious of that, recognize what the situation is, and hopefully put us in a good situation to find a way to be successful.
What did you think of Andy's performance in that first game, and this week now that he's had one game here with this group of guys? What have you seen or what have you worked on this week in practice where you see some improvement or just a natural improvement you would with getting comfortable with the group?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's just getting comfortable and spending time together. Andy did a reduced training camp, obviously, like all of us, so he's learned the system that way. And then really, once we got into the season, he's a scout team. He doesn't call a play in a huddle necessarily for, well over a month. And then obviously he has to get back in there, gets his opportunity. And so I think, hopefully we're feeling like we've made tremendous strides this week, just being the second week with this group, essentially. Thought Andy battled, he fought, he played in those are challenging circumstances. You're playing from behind, they're playing two-man, they're going to cover everyone really well. They got a really good defense, and their front forward's getting after it. And that's a tough situation for any quarterback. And he hung in there, took a couple shots while he stood in there and threw some balls, and respect the heck out of him. I think we're all really, really excited about where this thing hopefully is going.
More balls down the field. The yards per attempt were down last week largely because he didn't have time to throw, and with the challenges up front, how do you keep those big play receivers in the game and get the ball down the field of the receivers? Yeah.
Obviously, we threw it 50 sometimes again. Try not to do that, I swear. Obviously we just weren't able to get downfield as much. Obviously, to me, the biggest opportunities to get downfield is when you're in first and second down, you're putting the defense in conflict, and you're able to get play action, pass game going. Those are those opportunities because obviously the defensive line is having to play the run and the pass. And obviously when you get in those one-dimensional situations like we were in, obviously it's going to be hard. It's hard to hold on to the ball and try and throw a 20-yard chunk ball. Now, when you're in first and second down in the middle of a drive and they're having to play the run and we have that going, they're a little slower. You can hold them. You can get in a little bit more, play action protection and get guys downfield because obviously that's a good formula. That's when you're at your best probably, and we just got to find a way to stay in those situations, and I'm sure we will.
Yeah, they're number two against the run. The Zeke's fumbles give you less confidence and give him the ball, or where you got, just you calling the plays and calling the run game with Zeke having issues with fumbles?
Yeah, Zeke's obviously gone through his fumble thing. At the end of the day, this is a clean slate. Kind of talked about it all week. Clean slate. We got 0 turnovers right now, and that's all the number we're going to look at, everything moving forward. And so, Zeke's going to get a whole bunch of carries, and that's just. We're going to give him opportunities to run the ball just like we always want to each and every week, and we feel very confident about Zeke. He's had a tremendous amount of success, and he's going to find a way to just get through this little phase, this little bump in the road, and get back to being Zeke, and we all know he can.
Kellen, on that note, when you look at Zeke's 2 fumbles from the Arizona game, does it look to you like the same issue or different? And he mentioned he watched every fumble since high school this week. Was that something you were going through with him, or more that he just looks at and comes to discuss?
Yeah, I think Zeke prepares like no one else. He's very thorough in his preparation. He's going to take it. He's going to take it to heart. He's going to focus on it. I think they're all a little bit different circumstances, just because one's catching the ball, you're getting the ball in position essentially to secure it. In a catch scenario, and then obviously the second one is a run within the pile of group, and just trying to get to two-hand cover and covering that ball and protecting it in traffic. And so both are situations where small margin of error, and not necessarily error, but just the difference between getting two hands on a ball, securing it, and those are fractions of seconds. And Zeke certainly had a lot of production, a lot of success. He hasn't had these things, and everyone at some point goes through these challenges, and we know Zeke will come out of it just fine.
Coach McCarthy said that one thing he's told his backs in the past is that sometimes he'll just have to sacrifice a little bit of production for that ball security. Is that one of your messages to him this week, or how do you keep him from overthinking that the Washington defense is watching that film with the goal of that? Yeah.
Obviously, it's one point of emphasis that that extra yard, extra 2 yards. Obviously, understanding the situation of the game, there is a time and place for that, but there's also obviously the number one priority is that football, and so we got to make sure we secure it, make sure we're protected, and I feel good about where he's going to take this, and we'll be good.
Without saying, Kellen, that you don't want Andy to be in the pocket, 4 seconds each time you drop him back. What goes into being effective as a quarterback at getting the ball out of your hands quickly beyond simply having a fast release?
Yeah, I think obviously for us, just the formula of playing that game. He obviously, like I said, those are challenging situations. That whole second half, you're in must throw it to get back in the game, and you got a pass rush that's coming after you and a good secondary. Those are challenging formulas, but I think for Andy, getting an opportunity now, this being his second week as the starter, getting comfortable with kind of the game plan and all that sort of stuff. Andy and I working together, really like where we're taking this thing, and I think we're just going to get better and better each and every week. And Andy's got a ton of evidence over his career. He's had a ton of success, and we're going to get there, and we're going to have some fun doing it.
I'm sure you'd rather have all your pieces, all your offensive linemen on the field, but as a coach, is there a challenge that you have to enjoy, or you have to go all in on when you're going up against a defensive line like this, when you're missing a number of your offensive linemen, just to create a plan that gives you the best chance to succeed? How much do you enjoy that, even when you're obviously shorthanded?
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's the name of the game. There's challenges each and every week with the opponent, with yourself, and kind of that's hopefully the fun aspect of this thing. A lot of times when you win, it becomes more and more fun, but the fun, creative, challenging aspect of this thing is finding a way to put ourselves in the best situation to succeed. And obviously we've been dealing with a lot of injuries, but we find different ways to connect the puzzle pieces. And hey, we got guys who'll go out there, fight, battle, get after it, and we're just going to keep getting better, keep finding ways to put us in the best situation. I think we're gonna find our groove here and get this thing going.
Kellen, when you are using, just to follow up on Michael's question, when you are playing with an offensive line bunch like this in terms of experience, both individually and collectively, are there, both in the running game and the passing game, are there plays that you have that you just have to throw out and say, I can't call that play because that guy can't get there, which was the idea when we drew it up, so we're going to have to not use that play this week?
I think the biggest thing is just volume. When you have guys who've played together for a long time, you can kind of fall back on their experiences together, and you can run a play that maybe we didn't necessarily have in the game plan, but we've ran it before. We ran a bunch last year. We ran it in training camp, and we can fall back on that, or we can make subtle adjustments because the groups just work together a lot. I think our biggest thing is just being tight with our game plan right now, and making sure everyone's on the same page. We rep it. Everyone feels comfortable with it, so guys can play fast. I think that's the biggest thing. You can't overwhelm guys and allow them to start playing slow, start thinking, because that's not the formula to succeed, and that's going to be a challenge for us when we put them in that situation.
And regarding when a guy like Zeke, who's not had a history as a fumbler, starts to have these kind of problems, in football, do you believe in the yips?
It's a great mystery of these things. Sometimes things come in bunches, and hopefully we viewed it this week as, hey, it is what it is. We all go through challenges. Obviously, probably not many of us have gone through this unique turnover thing that we've been going through the last few weeks, but we just got to clean slate this thing. Everyone's got to put a smile on their face, say this is a clean slate. What's happened so far has happened, and we're moving forward, and all we're going to tally up is what we do moving forward from this point forward. And that's the approach. Turnovers, scoring, how effective we are on offense. We're just going to look forward and keep going.
All right, we'll finish up with Jory.
Kellen, Mike mentioned that he thought the defense performed better in practice yesterday than the offense. How would you assess your offense's practice yesterday, and was there one thing in particular y'all were struggling with as you go through some new members into the rotation?
Yeah, I think there's just different challenges and battles each and every day, week, in games and practices. Guys getting banged up, different guys being in different positions. Certainly, it was a little windy here in the metro the last couple of days, so. I think guys are just fighting through stuff. Obviously it's tough. You play a Monday night game, a game like that where you play a whole bunch of snaps and then you turn around. I mean, you certainly respect the heck out of these guys who are coming back to practice, ready to go. It's not easy, but you just got to fight through some of that stuff and get prepared for this Sunday, which I think our guys are in that position now where we're ready to go.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.